Hey there! Today I want to show you how to build a portfolio website using Hostinger Website Builder. We're going to learn how to add elements, how to construct your site, and how to publish it. So stick around. Okay, so the only thing you will need to follow my Hostinger Website Builder tutorial is, of course, Hostinger Website Builder plan. So in this video description, click the first link and you should be redirected to this page. Now we can click Claim Deal and we can see all that this plan will include. Now, what's important for us is that it has a free domain, free professional email, and unlimited bandwidth. As you can see on top, the code is already applied successfully. Let's click Add to Cart and we'll go through checkout. So let's pick anything between 12 and 48 months. Fill in your detail and log into Hostinger. The last thing we need to do is double check whether our coupon code is actually applied. If for some reason it's not, click here and type in Cybernews. Click apply and the price is immediately lower. Once you've finished with your purchase, we can start with the setup. So setup is pretty simple. We first select portfolio, then we select create a new website. Now we have a choice whether we go with WordPress or Hostinger Website Builder. Now we're going with Hostinger Website Builder because you want a good looking portfolio and you don't want to think about plugins, updates, or PHP versions, right? So select Hostinger Website Builder and we have to choose a domain name. Since we bought a plan here, we're getting 1 credit for 1 domain name. So we can click here and type in our name. Click search and it will show you all the available domains that you can pick from. However, if you don't want to buy a domain now or want to do it later, Hostinger allows you to start building your website or portfolio on a subdomain. So let's do that now. Let's click select and let's give it a few seconds to actually build our website. Now we have a second choice. We can go with Hostinger AI Website Builder or we can use pre-made templates. Now, both ways are great. Hostinger Website Builder AI will create a few different versions of design based on your choices and based on your description, which is a great way. But for this tutorial, I want to focus on pre-made templates. So we can just click use pre-made templates. As you can see, there's quite a lot of templates here, but we want to choose a category, right? Photography. And we can see all the photography related templates. Let's try this one. Okay, I like what this has. So we can see how it will look on mobile. Of course, we're going to modify it a bit. And okay, I'm happy with that. I can start building. Here we arrive at the main editor window. As you can see, we have all the tools that we're going to use for today. So let's talk a bit about controls. Hostinger implements drag and drop controls, meaning I can click on any element on my design and reposition it basically anywhere I want. If we click any element, we can actually see this small menu up here. For each element, it's going to be different, but we can edit images, edit text, or remove something. If you don't want to work with individual elements, you can add sections by going to the top or the bottom of already existing sections, right? So we can go here, we can press add sections, and now we have a choice of a few different pre-made blocks like footers or videos, right? For now, let's leave it like this. I'm gonna discuss this a bit later on. If you want to add those individual elements onto your design, we can click here and choose from a nice selection of individual elements, including shapes, maps, galleries. So we can just drag this contact form here. And when we release, it's going to be on our design and we can move it around and interact with it. Now that we have this out of the way, we can start actually editing this design. I want to start from the top, the header. So let's click on it and let's click edit header. Now we will see this whole menu up here where we can change things and customize how it looks. As you can see, this isn't my logo. If I want to change this logo, I go here, click here, and click replace image. Now I can upload any file that I have already pre-made. Let's see this, and let's upload a test. Select. As you can see, the logo has already appeared, and we can change its size with this, or even its position. If you still don't have a logo, there's actually a really nice tool named AI Logo Maker. Here you can generate different icons, mess with text, and create different layouts. So you can come up with a pretty simple yet effective logo for your portfolio. This does require credits. You will get some when you buy hosting or website builder for the first time. So, use them wisely. But if you don't have credits for some reason, you can just work with text and download a simple text logo like this. Let's go back to editing our header and let's choose a logo. Again, we can lower this to be a bit more stylish. I would like my menu layout to be in the middle, so I can click here, and I would like them to be more separate apart. If we go adjust the padding, we can actually lower or increase the height of this header. I want it to be simple and small. Right, I kind of like how this looks. However, if you still want to add, let's say, social icons here, you can go to styles, choose social icons here, and activate it. All you have to do now is just delete the ones you don't need and actually enter your own social media links here. Now, the header is kind of completed. It should be clean and minimalistic, so your work speaks for itself. Once we're done with header, we can move to the hero section right here. First, let's change these images to something of our own. We can click here and we can click here to change the image. We can upload our own files here. I'm just going to upload a few photos right here and just wait a bit. Okay, once our images are uploaded, we can select one and it should appear here. Now, Hostinger actually does this interesting thing where you can rescale any image and it will sort of follow and fill the whole space. So we can make it maybe a bit longer. Right. Let's change the bottom photo. Something like this. Give it a few seconds. And we want to make it shorter. Now, one thing has happened is that this element is currently on top of this element, right? If that ever happens to you and you don't want to move elements around too much, you can just click the element that is on top and right mouse button and send to back. This element is going to go all the way back to our design and we can select the element in front and move it a bit here. Now I want to edit the text here. We can double click on any text item, or we can click it and then click edit text. Right. So let's change the text to something that suits me. Let's delete this item and move this. Now, as you can see, this photography tile takes a lot of space, a lot of empty space. So we want to shorten it a bit, not too much. And we need to place it something right here. Right, let's move these two out of the way a bit. I don't need this, and I'm gonna leave this last text behind. And I want to change its alignment, like this. Now move one element a bit further. Again, smooth drag and drop controls, and we have our last text elements here. The thing about editing text sections is that if you don't have them pre-made or don't want to think and create one, you can actually implement Hostinger's AI Writer right here. So I can click it, and then I just need to type in the thing I want it to create. So let's say a short paragraph, and click right. A few seconds will pass, and we can see the text it generated. We can keep it, we can make it try again, or we can discard it. I like it. I'm gonna, of course, edit it a bit. So remove this. And let's remove the last part. I don't need it. Okay, so just like with image elements, text elements on Hostinger actually reacts to your resizing. So let's make this whole box a bit bigger so the text would fill it. And finally, I want to move this shape right here. Let's remove these social icons because I already have them on top. Here we have a lot of empty space now. However, you don't need to enter any numbers or check anything. You can just grab this little section height icon and easily move and rescale the entire section. Okay, right. Now I want to return to this section or menu, right? As we can see, we have a lot of web pages now. This is the standard website structure that we can use, right? There's nothing bad about it, but for portfolios, especially now, I think that one-page structure is much more interesting and popular, right? What one page means is just basically instead of having a About Me section in an entirely different page, entirely different part of your website, it's going to be located on one single long page. This approach is a bit better because I think it allows your clients to see all the information you want to show and not to get lost in countless pages and subpages. We first want to remove or hide all of these pages that we don't need. To do so, we go to Pages and Navigations. And as we can see, this all our main navigation. We can actually click any page and delete them, but I would recommend for this part of this tutorial, just hide it. And hide this and hide this. As we can see, now we have only one page. These are hidden. These still exist, but the user can't really access them. Okay, so we can return back and we can scroll a bit down to work with sections. Now I want to add a section that would be Instagram feed, right? I'll take this and I want something small and minimalistic, something like this. We can move these elements freely around, even in pre-made sections, and we can use the slider to set section height. We can click on this, click edit feed, and of course connect to your Instagram account. Okay, moving on, I want to create my gallery and I want to showcase my work. So I'm gonna remove this image right here. I want to make this text smaller, so I click edit text and I can change styles. So let's say I want heading 2 and it's immediately smaller. Let's resize it a bit. And now let's add a different element that will display our gallery. Let's drop it here. And as we see, it's already populated with images. We can increase its size. And then we can click Manage Galleries to delete everything that's not ours. And we can add images from our already uploaded image library. Let's select all of them. Let's add the gallery. And once that's done, we can click here to exit. We also need to edit the gallery's layout and how it looks. So we can click here. I want to go with masonry, and I want to go with 3 items per row. You can also change the gap between these. I want to make it tiny, and we can choose what happens when users click on the link. Of course, we want to open a full page screen view. And the last thing you can do with galleries is actually add some animation. So let's add a simple fade animation. Okay, I want to change this text to something that represents my work. And I like this sort of one static. We can move this here. And again, we can move these here. And since I'm not going to have a separate gallery page, we can just delete this button. We're going to click here and we're going to use some already pre-made text, or just use the AI website text generator. Okay, so I like this gallery. I can just make it a bit shorter and we can move down. I'm not going to have a lot of different galleries, so I actually can just go ahead and delete this section. But I would like to have contact form here. What can I do? I can go here, I can add sections, and I can add contact forms. Or I can go to pages and navigations. I can go to contacts, the page that we hidden, and I can say, hey, you know what? I like this section. How about I take it, I copy it, I then go back to our home, and I say, I would like to paste this section right here. And voila, we have this new pre-made section from a different page. We can just delete this now, and our contact form is nearly done. Now, we need to change the images and text to our own. Don't forget to change especially your email address, phones, and locations. And if we click on the form right here, select edit form, we can actually change a bit of these details. First of all, make sure the email is correct so you would get your form submissions. Then you probably might need more or less fields in this form. So to add or remove them, we can just click fields here, and we can see all that our current form has. If we want to, let's say, rearrange this, we can change the emails goes first or name goes first. If we want to delete this, we can click here and we can click remove field, right? Let's say that I want to add a new form field for phone number, right? We can have short answer. We can show here phone number. We can change the placeholder text to phone. And we can change the field type into, again, phone. Meaning this field will be required and users can't submit the form without actually entering their number. Let's change the position here. Great, I like it. Let's go through this. We can interact what the button says, maybe contact me. We can change the button's position and customize what exactly will happen when the user submits the form. Now it's just going to display this message saying thank you. Or we can actually make this form redirect to any of your pages upon completion. But just for this, let's leave a thank you message. Simple. We can mess with all the different style settings here. We can change fill color, text fonts, label color. My recommendation would be, if you like the template you've chosen and its color palette, I would suggest not messing around with these. Maybe if you know a bit about web design, But for this tutorial, let's skip this. I like this minimal, clean design, and we can have animation here. Now, I don't want to have different animation for every element here. Okay, once we're done with contacts, they look good. We can go ahead and finish these galleries. So I want to have another gallery, and I don't need this third one. So I can just delete it. And I would like to actually just duplicate this existing section up. So we can delete this, and we can change the design a bit, move it to other side like this. Let's say it's work photography, and let's change it to 2. Let's move this text element around, and here we go. Of course, we need to change what exactly is shown in the gallery. So let's remove these photos, and let's add the photos that we uploaded. Click delete, and we can see that we also need to fix the gallery because it's a bit too wide now. So let's make 4 images per row, and let's make masonry. Okay. Let's move these fingers a bit around. Move this little shape in here. And we can see that our very simple one-page structure is basically completed. We actually need to make sure that your design, your portfolio actually looks good on mobile. To do so, we can go and click this icon right here, and it will show us how it looks for mobile viewers. And as we can see, there's a bit of randomness here, right? So we can click on any section, and Hostinger actually uses this auto fix layout feature. It's not perfect, but it helps us. As you can see, it fixed a bit of the design, but not perfectly, right? So I would like to change it a bit more. Let's click this double text, and let's say I wanted center align. Let's take this image, and I want it much larger. The thing about Hostinger Website Builder is that mobile view and desktop view actually has 2 different parameters, 2 different settings. So whatever you change here won't affect your design in the desktop view. Okay, so we can increase this image size, or if we want, we can actually click here and toggle whether this element will be visible to desktop or mobile or none. So if we just select mobile and go to desktop view, we can see that this element is hidden. Let's get back. I don't want to hide this element, so let's turn it on. And let's fix our design. First of all, I want this text to be center aligned. I think that fits better, or maybe not. Let's leave it here. It's much easier to read. Right, I want to click this section and apply the auto fix layout now. And here we go. It kind of shoved this element very down below. I don't want that. I want to resize it and place it somewhere right here on top. Great. We can move this element, shape element, a bit further up and resize the whole section so it wouldn't take so much space. We're going to do the same exact thing for all of these sections. Let's move it. Let's move it a bit. I'm gonna move here first. Now, a thing about this mobile view is that if you delete an element, it's deleted in both versions. So if you want to manipulate something, you can just hide it or show it. Right, so we can just move this shape right here and minimize the size of this section. Okay, Great. I want to check on contacts, and I want to do it exactly the same thing. But here I want to actually hide this photo from mobile view and do this. Great. Again, I fix these text elements to be center aligned, since these are just basic text information. And okay. Now that we fixed all of that, we need to see how it looks. We can scroll down and we can see exactly how it will look on mobile device. Great. We can test out our menu. Simple, easy, and understandable. Right? To go back, click back. And we can go back to the main desktop version. Okay, the last thing I want to touch in this whole design section is footer. I don't think that footer is exactly necessary for a portfolio website unless you have a lot of websites. So I will delete this. So I'll move this social icon element here, and don't forget to edit each and every one of these social items. Then I'm gonna move this text element here. I'm gonna change it to my brand name, and I'm gonna make the footer much smaller. There we go. I think I actually like where this went. Great. So now we can go to pages and navigations, and if we don't need anything from these pages, we can just delete them to make our website a bit cleaner. Don't forget that you can always add new pages by clicking here. These will be pre-made pages, including refund policies and other useful things, or you can add drop-down menu or entire link to your website or some other website, even file downloads. So there's a lot of choice. Right, let's delete these, We can also add another language. If you're working throughout different regions, it's very useful to have multiple languages set up. Hostinger actually makes it very easy to set up these languages, but you have to do it once everything in your site is done, because what is going to happen is that as soon as we're going to choose our main language, which is English, we can add another, I don't know, whatever, Espanol. We can do add language, and this is a different version of our site. As you can see, now it doesn't change that much, but if we go and assign, let's see, flags here, and we go to this section, we can actually edit everything. So we can just translation, and to double check that it works, go here, select English, and the text element says different things. So now just basically use any translation program that you like and go ahead and translate everything that you have in your portfolio. Once we're happy with all of this, we can click save again, but auto-saving is on, so not that much of a deal. And we can go here to see our domain name. If you got a domain name with the free credit at the start, you should see either green or yellow, basically check mark here. Green means that your domain name has been connected to this website and you can already visit it. Yellow means that it's not connected and you have to give it a few more minutes, maybe an hour or so. Right. If you haven't done anything and you just use a subdomain for starting this work, you can click connect your own domain and it will transfer to Hostinger's very simple domain setup. So just go through it, find the domain you like, buy it, and then it will be automatically connected to your portfolio. Once you connected your domain, just double check here if it's connected. And finally, we can click go live. And here we go. You can share your new website with your friends, and you can click here to view your website as a user. And here we go. We can see our full completed portfolio of website, right? We can click any photo, make it appear bigger. We can select different languages here. We can click on social media icons, everything we want. That's sort of it for the main part of the tutorial, right? You should know a bit about how to add elements, how to add pages and navigations, and how to actually work with them. Now, I'm not going to go into too much details. There's a lot to explain. So if you want more of this, leave a like, leave a comment, everything helps. So let's talk about SEO. If we go website settings and click SEO, we'll see the first basic Hostinger SEO setup. Just enter your brand's name. Next step, add a short description about what you do and how people should find you. Click next step. And now Hostinger will kind of give you a choice of a few keywords for your website. If you did a good description, it should be more or less spot on. So I'm gonna choose 3 of them. In the next step, we can see how our portfolio will look in Google search results. We can actually change the title a bit and the description to actually fit our needs more. And I really recommend adding a location keyword. So let's say I'm working in Kansas, so captivating images in Kansas, right? Just for better SEO results. We can double check everything and we can click finish. Now, as you can see, we have only 50% SEO done. And the last thing is using a single H1 heading. Now, there's a bit of a problem because some of these headings are actually H1, like this one. Yeah, so it's not the best option. We need to change either these headings. Let's see what Hostinger actually offers us. If we click here, get heading suggestions, we can see what Hostinger wants us to do. Basically just keywords, right? So we can take this, click here to copy, click here on this text. Now let's change the style to heading 1, but let's change the size to something smaller. Let's say 40 pixels, right? So now this can work as our slogan. Let's change the text to heading 2. This is good. This is good. Good. The text, the number is actually heading 1. So let's change heading 2 and let's add 20. And immediately when we change all our headings to style 2 or heading 2, we can see that congratulations, you've done the whole setup, meaning that we've run through what Hostinger had to offer and we have a decent SEO. We click here, we go SEO, it's a nice 100%. Great. However, if you want to change your SEO settings or change anything, we can go to settings, SEO, select the page we want to modify, click here, and we can modify anything here. We can add new keywords or delete the already existing ones. Let's see, we can add simple Kansas photos, click here to make sure it appears, and that's kind of it. However, keep in mind that SEO isn't exactly necessary for portfolios. You're probably going to get most of your viewers and visitors from networking and sharing your portfolio. So don't forget to share it with your friends after you complete it. And share this tutorial with your friends. Okay, one more thing. If we go to general settings, we can see Favicon, right? What it is just basically an image that's shown near your URL on this like tab on Google or other browsers. We can click add image and you can use your own logo that you just established, right? Select it and it will show a preview how it looks. Don't forget to save changes. Next, let's click link preview image and upload any image that will be shown when people share your social link. I want this one. We can see exactly how it will look on social medias. Let's change. We don't need a cookie banner. And if you go to integrations, you can add connections to Google products like analytics. However, I wouldn't actually suggest doing that because there's analytic integration right here and it's pretty okay for a portfolio or blog. So just wait until you get some visitors and you can see all this nice data. And it should be it. So that should be it. You should have a nice looking portfolio in front of you. If this video helped you out, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more content. If you still have questions or run into trouble, write a comment and I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Anyhow, I hope you liked the video and I'll see you very soon.